Okay. The other thing I want to talk about today is this is an open letter or an open video to Brian Cashman. Mr. Cashman, your smug attitude of we know more than you is starting to get a little tiresome. Don't sit here and tell me that not everything is analytically driven. Okay? Your poor decisions have not come from scouts. It has come from analytics. Sonny Gray, Frankie Montas, Josh Donaldson, to name a few. Where in God's green earth did you actually think that these people would fit in New York or would have some kind of renaissance? Sonny Gray was a great pitcher. He's still a great pitcher, but not for New York. And no scouts saw this. Okay? And it was all analytics. Analytics said he should pitch well. He didn't. Frankie Montas, who analytically should pitch well, gets constantly hurt. No one thought to look that up? No one thought to look up the injuries of Josh Donaldson? And this whole thing started with your stupid analytics with fucking Jacoby Ellsbury. Would he play fucking 4 games? You have to stop relying on it completely. It's good to use it, but you also have to use your fucking eyes. Josh Donaldson hasn't played a full season in at least 3 years. Yet you thought it was a good idea to take on a $50 million salary for a guy who's often injured and couldn't hit with 5 bats. Sonny Gray, analytically, is a great pitcher, except for here. Frankie Montas was hurt before he came to the Yankees, but you still traded for him anyway. We can go on and on and on. Why is there no left-handed power on this team? You got a short porch in right field, jackass. Did you forget that part? And don't come back at me saying that he won those 4 World Series back in the 90s. He didn't. That was Bob Watson's doing. He tweaked a little, yes, after Bob Watson left. But Bob Watson and Stick made that fucking team. So stop yourself. 2009, yes, you did, but you still had the core players. Ever since then, this analytically driven bullshit has put you in the fucking toilet. And don't tell me this team is fucking good. It still has no third baseman. It still has no left fielder. When the playoffs come, when you do make the playoffs, you can't hit to save your fucking ass in a 5-game series. Much less a fucking wild card, much less a 7-game series. 2 years ago, when you beat Cleveland in 5 games when you should have swept them, they couldn't hit. And that really reared its ugly head in the ALCS when you got swept by the Astros. You couldn't hit the side of a barn. Okay, so don't come back at fans going, yo, we won 99 games the year before. You got swept by the Astros because you couldn't hit. One guy had 62 home runs. The rest of them fucking couldn't hit for shit. But no, analytically, you're fine. Keep it up. Keep up with the rhetoric. And keep up with your big mouth saying that we're fucking good. Because you're fucking not. Wow. The balls he had yesterday at that fucking press conference. He needs to... Hal, he needs to go. He's been in this position too long. He's now way too comfortable because he thinks he's never going to get fired. He's got to go. You have to get some fresh blood in here to see this in a different way. Because the way that you're doing it now, it's not working. It's not working. Your analytics can only do so much. You have to use your fucking eyes and your fucking brain to see what's going on. Everybody keeps talking about Ohtani coming to the Yankees. The Yankees should make a pitch for him. No! He's damaged goods. He needs Tommy John surgery. And I believe it's the second time he's needed it. Okay? Oh, yeah, he can hit. That's great. What has he done? This is where the eye test comes in. What has he done for the Anaheim Angels to lift them to be a playoff team? Nothing. And they have Mike Trout. He has done nothing to elevate this team to a playoff status. They still stink. That's what you got to look at. Forget about his numbers and that he's an MVP caliber player. Yeah, that's great. But when push comes to shove, what is he doing to help this team? Nothing. Nothing. Or Mike Trout either. Mike Trout isn't doing shit either. They're not doing anything to help elevate this team. And it's all this analytic bullshit. And then they'll tell you it's not. Look, man, you got to have the eye test too, as well as the fucking analytics. If analytics tells me, and I'll give you your bullshit Frankie Montas. If analytics says that Frankie Montas can pitch this and this and this and this, great. Now let's go back and look at his injury history. Let's go back and look at what he's done to other teams. You didn't do that. All you saw was he pitches well against the Astros. Well, he couldn't pitch. He got hurt. Like he always does. You're also not looking at Stanton, who you can't get rid of now. But he's not really killing you with the bat. Although this year he did. 198 is not good. But somebody's got to work with him to find out why a 33-year-old can't run. Somebody who's supposed to be an MVP athlete can't run. What the fuck is that about? What makes him wound so tight that he can't run from second to home? Like every other player. I can understand Rizzo not running from second to home. The man's 38, I think. But don't sit here in a press conference and berate people thinking you're right and everybody else is wrong. We have the eye test. You don't, for some reason. So, Hal, if you're listening to this, the boys got to go after that press conference. Because if you think that this team is good enough to win or get into the playoffs or make a run, you are sadly mistaken. Sadly mistaken. You still have no third baseman. You have no left fielder. Center field's up in the air as well. I guess. I don't know about this kid coming back. He's having Tommy John surgery. The only one worth his weight right now is fucking Judge. And we don't even have a fucking catcher, really. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens next year. But if you don't make any moves to improve this fucking team, and you think this team is still playoff caliber, you're a jackass. That's my Yankee rant. Booyah. Oh, excuse me. Let me postscript this too. To the fans of the Yankees, if Brian Cashman and this front office takes you for granted and thinks you're still going to show up when you're putting a shitty product on the field, stop going. Stop going. Don't buy a ticket. Just don't. Just don't go. I know it's hard. I know people are diehard Yankee fans, steady end. But to show this team that they're doing shitty, it has to hurt them in the wallet. That's all I got to say. Booyah!